There was some good news on the economy today, with inflation coming in lower than expected. But when it comes to reporting economics, it often sounds like just a series of numbers, doesn't it?
There has been a drop to 4.9% in the year to October. That is down from 5.6% the month before.
In the 12 months to October, the inflation reading has fallen down to 4.9%. So the inflation is still occurring, but at a slower pace than it was in the 12 months to September, which was at 5.6.
Numbers, numbers, numbers. But what does it all mean? Well, as you know, it means prices are going up still, but not by as much as they have been. It means interest rates probably won't be going up again next month. But what it really means is that Australians are still doing it tough, especially if they're trying to pay a mortgage on their first home, especially if they're on a fixed income or trying to raise a family, and especially if they're running a small business. These pressures mean cost cutting, they mean going without things as adults so that the kids can get what they need, going without things as a family so you can pay the escalating power bills, and worry. They mean lots and lots of worry. This is the stuff of life. This is not about political point scoring, and certainly shouldn't be about political self-congratulation.
We are working for Australia and we are making progress in the fight against inflation. Our cost of living plan is taking some of the edge off these pressures. We're getting the budget in much better nick in ways that's drawn the support of the IMF, Fitch ratings agencies and the RBA Governor when she was asked.
Wow, people are still hurting, inflation is still too high and the government is smug. But funny the Treasurer should mention the Reserve Bank Governor, because she's been speaking in Hong Kong to a bunch of other bankers, and listen to how she dismisses the so-called noise from people who are hurting.
Around about 45% of the population do have a mortgage in some sense, either over their own home or an investment property. And that's created a lot of noise. People are very unhappy. The cash flow channel works very quickly in Australia and it's very prominent. But what I'd like to highlight here is, though, despite that noise, households and businesses in Australia are actually in a pretty good position. Their balance sheets are pretty good.
How lacking in empathy. Economics is not about numbers and financiers. It's about people, their families, their businesses and their futures. The RBA Governor needs to get a grip and learn to understand the real impact of her decisions, whether they're right or wrong, the real impact they have on people who don't earn $1 million a year, people who don't talk about the economy as if it's a board game, but who talk around the kitchen table about how they're going to buy what they need each and every week. Bullock ought to get back from Hong Kong and head out into the suburbs and the regions so she can get a feel for how inflation and interest rates are really biting. Many people are not feeling as though their balance sheets are pretty good, and that's why they're making noise.